Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of CB Rebuilds. Today we've already got this critter back in the barn. That was quite a fiasco and I wasn't really able to film it, but I'll try to catch you up on what happened. As you can see, right here we've got a flat tire on the trailer. That's being held up by the jack right now, and we also had the winch battery die on the trailer. So pulling this truck up on there was not easy, but we got it up here. So I guess what I know about this truck, well, it is a 1977 Ford F250 long bed. It has the 351 Windsor engine in it, and it does roll over. That's about all I know. Purchased this from a guy who had saved it from alongside a barn. It was destined to sit there and rust out, but he was able to save it. And then guy was 16 years old. Might be a little bit too ambitious of a project for a 16-year-old to get on, and he didn't have the budget to fix it. I'm going to look into trying to get it running and see where we can go from there. But I'll take you guys around and we can kind of see what's going on around the truck. Alright, so there's not too much to say about this truck. It does have a little rust here in the wheel well. There's just a skosh of rust here in the cab corner and the bottom of the door. But it does have this really nice patinaed look to it. It looks really cool. I like the blue and the brown and the rust. Has the manual lockout hubs, so if you want it in four-wheel drive, you got to get out and plan ahead. An Ohio vehicle. Back here there's a little bit of a dent, but I think it adds some character to it. And you can see we've already got some tools out. One of our big projects is to get this wheel turning. Right now this wheel doesn't turn, so to roll it around is almost impossible because it doesn't turn. Loading it was very difficult because of that. And here I've got, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. I'm sure you guys may not be able to see it. But there's a nice hole here in the floor. Smells like a colony of mice have lived in here forever, which is pretty exciting. But, you know, it doesn't have too much in here. It's pretty Spartan, and I kind of like the look of that. I might see where the mice might have been living up there in the headliner, which is unfortunate because that looked pretty nice, but if they were up there, then there's no way we're keeping that because it's just going to smell. You know, door shut's pretty nice yet. Let me hop up here and we'll take a look at the engine bay. It's amazing to me how small the engine looks in here, but this is a 351. I think it says so right over here. Let's see if I can get you in here. Somewhere in here it says 351. So we've got the 351. It's carbureted, of course, and just enough to get it home or to make sure I wanted to buy it. We just touched the solenoid here, jumped the solenoid, got it to roll over. So the engine's not stuck, but it has enough compression that you can't just grab the belt and throw it over. Seems like these battery cables are terrible. You can see that they're just falling apart right now in my hand, but besides that, they just seem really small. I guess I'm no expert, but I would say we can definitely upgrade that and get a little more current flowing through there to help this thing start when we get to that point. So Right now we've got it, of course, on the trailer. It would be nice to get it off the trailer, be a little easier to work on, so we're gonna go work on that part of the project right now. But last time this was registered was 1999. Yeah, 1999, right before Y2K. Anyways, that was the last time it was on the road. The story is the guy parked it because he couldn't afford the fuel anymore for it. He said it was just too expensive to drive. So we're gonna, and the guy I bought it from had just gotten it in the last 6-8 months. He wanted to do a full restoration, but that's quite costly. Even with this bed being in good shape, I mean, it's still got damage here and, you know, above the wheel wells, but for the most part the truck is nice and straight down the sides. So the tailgate wouldn't latch and I didn't want it to fall down. We got all kinds of goodies back here, a whole bunch of you know, miscellaneous goodies that come with it. But I think this latch needs adjusted, but we weren't going to do it when we were picking it up. So yeah, right here you can see it was 1999. So it's shut down inside here. We're going to work on getting the brake, left rear brake, freed up. Got a couple tools out here. It's got the breaker bar, a socket, and the impact. And let's go ahead and try to get this off and see if we can't get the brake drum freed up so we can roll this off the trailer. Here's the axle shaft. You have to take out these 8 bolts. They're 5/8 on this axle. We've got the seal here on the axle shaft, and it looks like we had some water in here. A little rusty, but nothing I'd be real concerned about. Next, we've got to get the locking tab kind of released. So we've got 1, 2, maybe 3 tabs that are bent. I'm just going to use a chisel to bend those back straight. Bearing should come out, but this whole hub is froze up pretty good, so I'm not sure what the right approach is now. Well, we'll figure something out. We gotta get this off of here, so bear with me. I'll see what we can get figured out here, and I'll bring you guys back into it. Well, folks, that took entirely too long. I tried to get these things loose every way I knew how. I wasn't able to get them off. As you can see here, there is a pile of rust. And pretty much all of the brake hardware is out now. Here's what's left of the brake shoes. This is the rear one. There's absolutely no material left, just gone. Everything's gone. Even this little cable, just everything's gone. Everything's in bad shape. So here's the adjuster. I tried to adjust it with the teeth, you know, putting a thing in there, you know, like a screwdriver or even a chisel, but I mean, this thing is just rusted solid. So what I ended up doing was on the backing plate here on the back side, I took a grinder or my Dremel tool and cut the heads enough so that I could take a chisel and bust them off. That released the hardware. I went to undo the brake line, and the brake line, of course, was rusty, and it just fell off. I also took the nut off here for the parking brake shoe. That goes on this cable right here, somewhere down here. And I did all that. And then I just pulled the wheel back on without the front bearing or any of this, and just shook it till I finally got it to all come loose and just pile out. And this is what I'm left with. For what we're doing right now, I'm going to put the wheel back on and then get ready to get this off the trailer. So hang tight here. I'll finish putting the wheel on, and we'll see how this goes together for us.